Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another StarCraft 2 cast. And this one is going to be an absolute banger. I have a special map for you between Kaizi Gaming's Reynor in the bottom right, recently winning the first Premier Tournament of the year, the first big international Premier Tournament, the King of Battles. He 4-0'd several in the grand finals of that tournament. What an absolutely beastly performance. And this is actually a match from earlier in that tournament against none other than herO in the top left side. And we're just casting this one map, and this is because this is an absolute highlight game. herO is the #1 Protoss in the world on Aligulac, and that alone is exciting. You've got a champion player, another champion player. herO used to be known as the Prince of IEM for winning 70 series. Sounds cool. But it's not just that. You've got two players here who love to play aggressive and gamble and will never just sit there and follow the meta. They will never play boring StarCraft ever. It is so much fun to watch these two clash because honestly, like, I'm thinking of just before herO had to go and do his military service, end of 2019, BlizzCon was the last big tournament he got to play. Go back and watch him versus Reynor. They had one of the craziest best of 5 series. I believe it was in the group stage. I think we were doing best of 5s for BlizzCon that year. It was so much fun. I'll link it below in the description as well if you guys want to check it out. Really cool. And that was right before he went to the military. Came back, of course, less than a year ago. I think just under a year ago. Already back to being #1 Protoss in the world. And you've got him, crazy risk taker, gambler, never follows the meta, brings in all these exciting builds that make ZvP. Like, there's Zerg versus Protoss, and people are like, nah. Then there's Reynor versus herO. And I always think of how in like fighting sports and like mixed martial arts, people are like, you know, it's the style that makes it an exciting matchup. It can be really boring if you've got two guys who, you know, just kind of want to wrestle with each other and don't really want to take any risks. It can be really, really boring if you in StarCraft have two very defensive macro players who are building Void Rays and building Infestors and Vipers and Broodlords and just sitting there. I love you, Serral and Trap. I'll watch you guys play. I like that display of skill because I'm a big expert in the game and I like the details that you guys pull out. Let's be real, it's not an everyman's version of StarCraft. Reynor and herO, on the other hand, chaos guaranteed. We've already got a gold base as a hatch first, getting transferred to such a risky move, but on this map, you get 8 mineral patches of gold. Most maps, historically, only do 6 patches. I just did 6. That's 6, guys. Me count good. Pigstarcraft commentator. 6 different mineral patches, so it would work out to still be, when fully saturated, the same as a normal base. You could just saturate it with less drones, so it was a nice kick without being huge. This is actually like having 1 1/4 bases mining with the same amount of workers. It's huge. It's a massive boost. herO scouts for the first time in this map and sees it. And what the hell is he going to do to deal with it? Because he's played a very greedy opening, which allowed him to get the early gas, so he could go Stalker and Warp Gate and still squeeze out a quick Stargate. He's done everything at once, and he got the money to do that by skipping the scout and going gas as his very first structure in this game. So hot tip there, if you guys do want to, you know, you're not worried about 12 pool, you don't want to harass at the start with the depths, this is a cool way to mix it up. Now herO already moving out with a weird little proxy. Reynor Zerglings, don't quite see it. His Overlord is going to try and fly back here from the pillar, doesn't want to lose that Overlord for free. Oh, and he's actually hoping to bait the units out. Reynor, look at this bait. He wants the Stalker to come out so he can kill it. That Overlord is twerking its booty. It's twerking, and the Zerglings are going to go after it. Good positioning on the Stalker, and the Oracle actually is going to save it. Oracle protects them, but that was another bait. 300 IQ. He baits him out the front. The Zerglings running the main. herO's like, where the hell did they come from? What the hell, man? He already loses 3-4 probes. Oh, this is a big win for Reynor. And look at that, 5 probes. Most of the Zerglings survived. The Adept and the Stalker are killing a lot of Zerglings outside, but this is so irritating. The Oracle comes in 7 probes. Oh my god, massive damage for Reynor, who had to overbuild Zerglings to get a bit of safety because obviously his gold base is so exposed, but he found a way to use those and get some value out of them. And the Adepts are coming forward. Reynor's taking a 3rd base behind us. He's back on gas. 2nd gas goes down. He'll be thinking about a Roach Warren soon. Meanwhile, herO is going for a 3rd gateway proxy. So he's going to try and go Adepts and Oracles. He's got 2 Oracles, a 3rd one on the way. He's going to try and pile the pressure on right now. He can't just let Reynor sit on this gold base and make workers and play a super chilled game. That Overlord from earlier comes in. It's still like, dude, what are you doing? It saw nothing. So he's wondering, where is herO's stuff right now? But right now, Reynor has to worry about something bigger, which is Adepts and Oracles. And look at this. Very intelligently, herO doesn't attack into the Spore and the 3 Queens. He's like, dude, why would I go there? I could just go to your main base. Reynor is about to get punished for taking that greedy gold base right now. And he's got, oh my god, 3 Oracles coming across. Yes, the Queens get a bit of damage. But look at that. The Adepts, they kill a few Zerglings and they shade away. And is he going to dive on the Queens? Ooh, I think he's already taken a bit too much damage on the Oracles, but notice the Zerglings can't fight the Adepts because the Oracles will just turn on their laser beams and the Queens can't really move off creep. This is beautiful play to control this space. It's so awkward for Reynor. And behind it, a 4th gateway, a Twilight. He's gonna go Glaives. He's gonna double down, even though this is really late Adepts and Roaches are already on the way. Hero's like, dude, you can't protect here and here at the same time. I can go after both bases at once now. Uh-oh. Reynor is going to try and dive on top of these Adepts. This is a bit of a mistake for herO, I think. Losing these Adepts would suck, but good micro by herO, dude. Doesn't lose a single Adept. Look at that units lost tab. He only lost the 7 probes earlier in this game. Other than that, 24 Zerglings have gone down. Now the Queens are going to come out and try to push this back. Nice moves by Reynor, but that's only 2 Queens actually, and he dives on top of it. And even with the transfusers coming down, 4 Oracles, a 4th one comes in. Who builds a 4th Oracle? Normally 3 is the maximum before you transition, but hero's like, screw that. Let's just make harassment units. He's making more and more. He's going mass Oracle Adept. This is the most troll shit ever, but Reynor, never expecting someone to be that crazy. He's like, dude, he's losing all of his Roaches and Lings to laser beams right now, and you know what's going through his head. The same thing that is always posted on Reddit, StarCraft, about Protoss, and that is fucking lasers. It's not fair. Our units don't have lasers. No. The Adepts are going to do well versus the Zerglings, but the Oracles are low on energy. As these Adepts come forward, though, that's going to push this back. The Oracles, remember, for those who don't know, you can see their pink bar, that's their energy, 25 energy just to turn their attack on, and it drains very quickly while it's on. So Oracles can't always shoot. It's a limited amount of shooting. It does put a bit of a damper on the tempo that they can get, otherwise they'd be a bit too powerful. Adepts are going to shade towards the 3rd. The Queen and Roach way too much there. You do not want to let that shade finish. Uh-oh. Oh, bad move by herO. There is no way that's a good fight. The Roaches and the Queens are like, get out of here. herO with his first big misstep in this game. But he's still keeping it locked on equal work as not just Roaches and Queens are on the way. Alair is finally up. He's making Overlord speed. Reynor maybe thinking about the counterattack there. Of course, Overlord speed does allow you to upgrade those Overlords into the German taxi, into the Queen transport to go and deal with these Oracles. 5 Oracles out. He's still building Oracles. Guys, there's no transition. It is just mass Glaive Adept Oracle right now. Adepts do shade into that base. Plenty of Queen Roach, though. Only loses 1 Adept, and he's going to try and shade and continue to join up. The thing is, Reynor can defend his main, he can defend his gold, but he can't defend this base as well because there's no anti-air down here. So he actually can't fight this. He's going to lose his 3rd base. Gets knocked back to 2 base, and behind it, herO is like, lol, 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 you're on 2 base, and I'm going to take my own gold. So herO, you'd think he'd swap into a ground army now. He's doubling down. He's going for another Stargate, the mad lad. He actually shades in. This could be a good fight versus the Zerglings, but there's so many Roaches and Queens, so they're doing all right versus the Adepts. May have been a bit of an overcommitment. I don't really know how this is trading. It does kill a lot of the Zerglings. Some of the Adepts will get out. So look at the units lost tab. You can see it's still a bit in the favor of herO, but that gold base has been mining this whole time. 6 Queens getting in the Overlords. Lots of Ravagers morphing. He's moving a Spore forward onto his creep nubbin here. He's got a bit of a creep shaft hitting to the watchtower there. He's going to cement that by putting a little nubbin on the end. The Queens are going to be dropped down to face off against those Oracles. How many Oracles? 8 Oracles! Might actually beat 7 Queens if they focus fire. So you're going to be real careful as Reynor here. He wants to deny this gold base. There are batteries coming up and overcharge. Forge is almost done, but it's not ready just yet. He wants to be able to build cannons, does herO, but he's still only on early game harassment units, and he's doubling down. 2 Stargate Oracle. I thought he might go Void Rays or something, but obviously they were nerfed. He says Oracles never got nerfed. Let's just use those. Reynor, he's got his 3rd base rebuilding right now. This game is just so ridiculous. Reynor wants to use Queen drops, but the thing is, guys, the Oracles will just kill them too fast. They won't be able to transfuse in time. The Oracles just have way too much DPS. If the Oracles outnumber the Queens, it's pretty rough. 10 Oracles versus 9 Queens, and there's only 6 Queens here. He's going to drop them. The Oracles turn on their laser beams. You see that? They almost eliminated the Queens instantly. 1 Queen in the red, 1 in the deep orange, but he just picks up. There's nothing that shoots up right now for herO. herO doesn't have a single unit. He's only got Adepts and Oracles. Adepts go in here. They're going to have to run away. The Oracles are just going to dive. There's 3 Spore Crawlers and a Queen, but he's got like 12 Oracles. He's just eliminating the Spores. The Queens are getting blitzed out of the sky. Oh my god, he's doing damage at the same time though. A Queen drop in the mineral lane. What even is that? What is going on? Battery overcharge probes fighting Queens? This is pure chaos right now. The Adepts are going to try and shade to the right side. He's trying to land Biles on the Oracles that are killing all of his drones and Ravagers. This game has gone gone to Poop Town, guys. herO has a massive probe lead, but is that going to last? The battery got killed. The probes are getting overrun. Those queens have endless transfuse, and they're actually killing so many probes. This was not a good fight for herO. The oracles are going to try to join in, but there's way too many queens there. The queens are winning this fight, and guess what? Roaches are joining it as well. There's 6 queens transfusing their way through this whole mineral line. The oracles don't have that much energy right now, especially with the roaches coming back. The adepts are getting cleaned up. herO is going to have his gold base denied. Can you believe it? I thought he had this one in the bag, but with nothing to shoot up to deal with the overlords. He does kill a lot of the drones of Reynor, though. Reynor's only on 33 workers. His gold is deserted, so they're both trading gold bases. Adepts are trying to harass Reynor, though. He's on top of it. If these adepts get in his natural, kill 10, 15 more workers, Reynor's dead. Reynor's on 31 drones, even losing the gold base. This should favor herO a little bit here. Looks like a queen went down to that base. Adepts are grouping up, and Reynor is in such a fragile position. He's spreading creep out here, just trying to do something. Clears up a bunch of the pylons, and that does supply block herO, who is now going to Stargate Phoenix. A roach drop arrives in his main base. I didn't even see that. Stalkers and a Phoenix clean it up, so it doesn't look like it did too well. Nice play by herO to clean that up. Adepts trying to take out the gold base. That would be very important. Make sure Reynor can't get back out there. Reynor has 9 queens rebuilt. 3 of them in this overlord. The Phoenix are going to come out and try to hunt this down, but that overlord, it's very tanky up against Phoenix. They only do 10 damage each time they shoot it, so you can see that's kind of hard to take down, especially with more queens up in the main base. Should be coming down to defend it, and indeed they are. So that overlord should be getting out of there. He's got Mass Roach Queen on 2 base. He's lost his gold hatchery. And we can see that this is just so messy. I'd like to see herO clear. The creep up would be really big. There's creep over here and creep over here, just detached from his actual bases. Reynor's trying to go Infestors, and because Fungal is good versus all these units. If you lock the Oracles down with Fungal, they can't really attack. They're just stuck out of range. And he's going to go Hive! Reynor's like, well, he's making Phoenix. I need Viper and Infestor, because Parasitic Bomb Fungal wrecks Oracles, it wrecks Phoenix. Now, herO is going to drop a Robo, a second Robo as well, so 2 Robos and a new 3rd base. He's definitely got map control, he's got the probe advantage, but with both of them on 2 bases, and of course, remember, herO's 2nd base mining out, Reynor's is very fresh, because he took this base much later, and then it got killed once or twice before finally mining. So the game has gone from ridiculous chaos to like, what the hell is going to happen next? The Oracles did not find a moment to commit in. Maybe they should have, but I think 11 queens plus spores is too much. And now with Infestors as well, if he gets caught by Fungal, that could be the end of his whole force. And it's all harassment units. Reynor's units are low tier units, but Roach Ravager Queen is more well-rounded. Spellcasters scale really well in pretty much any situation. Even though you got bad economy, you're gathering energy. You're gathering Transfuse, Fungals, potentially Neuroparasites. He's trying to retake the gold. It only has 4 mineral patches, so I kind of wish he just retook a full blue base. Phoenix will take out the Overseer. Now, the Overseer has seen the Robo. Did it see the Robo Bay, I wonder? Overseer goes down. So let's click on one of Reynor's units. He saw the Robo Bay, so he knows it's going to be Disruptors. Now, Disruptors counter Roaches, Ravagers, and Queens super hardcore, but Vipers are coming out, and I don't know if herO realizes. He saw Hive upgrading, so he should know that's an option, but he's thinking, hey, Immortals, get those to kill the Roaches, Disruptors behind it, we're going to blast these units. That can work, but he's going to need a lot of Disruptors, and he really needs a Templar Archives for feedback. He's got Charge coming in, so he does have Zealots. He's got a 3rd mining. I do think he's in a bit more of a stable position than Reynor, but I think he's actually got to get a 4th and a 5th base up, and he's going for it. Oh, herO's so smart, because he's so committed to harassment units, he can't really win a fight, right? The Phoenix are good for harassing, the Oracles are good for harassing, he's still got 8 Adepts, good for harassing. None of these units is good at fighting front on, right? His whole arsenal, 18 supply of Phoenix, 22 supply of Oracles, 16 supply of Adepts. He's got like 50 plus supply of units that are good at basically harassing things and nothing else. That's well worth it. Just kill the hatchery and get out of there. The Infestors and Vipers aren't nearby. They can't punish him. I'd also love him to clear up that creep a bit more. The Phoenix are going to dive in, but oh, Parasitic Bomb Fungal. Oh, this is the combo I was talking about. Look at how much damage is going down. You see how painful that is. 3 Phoenix die, the rest of them deep in the red and orange. Roaches do take control of the Watchtower. Reynor now just taking the standard blue base. He's trying to build spores. He's trying to recover his drone count. He's almost back to 50 drones. 14 minutes into this game, and his spellcasters are his lifeline, and that's why he's gathering energy. 5 Vipers out there. Now, herO's going to do a push. This looks like out an alpha. This is not an army. When in StarCraft, have you ever seen pro players with this army? He's like, yeah, it's an Oracle Phoenix army with two balls and a few stalkers, sentries, and immortals. I'm like, I would not even know where to begin with this army. I really think herO needs to go Storm, Charge, Archon against this. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but Storm is actually what he needs against these units because those Vipers... Oh, nice dive with the Phoenix. But Parasitic Bomb. Oh, spread. Okay, he does spread that Phoenix away. Only loses one Phoenix. If he can kill those Vipers, it would be huge. The Oracles. Nice move by herO. He goes across, kills the natural hatchery. He's going to take out the Spore Crawlers here as well. Look at how quick these Spore Crawlers die. He could kill a lot of the drones. The drones are running away, but oh my god, that's a lot of Spore Crawlers. Reynor realized that these Oracles were a big threat, and he did not underestimate it. Parasitic Bombs going down as well. Good spready. It looks like he threw 2 Parasitic Bombs on the same target. So a bit of a misclick there from Reynor. But Reynor can gather more energy off that hive. He's going to retake his hatchery. He's still got a base mining. He's way down on the minerals. But remember, it's only Stalkers coming in right now. He's adding Blinken +1. Stalkers are a good general unit. But there's Fungal, there's Blinding Cloud, and there is a ton of Roach Ravager already out that's going to do okay against that. So I really think feedback versus the Spellcasters is brutal. 5 Infestors and 5 Vipers could be game-changing. Reynor right now is playing the worst Zerg economy of all time. But he's trying to make it work with the Spellcasters. Oh, abducts on the balls. He abducts the Disruptors. But that, oh no! The Disruptors got their shots off even after they were abducted, but didn't get the biggest hits. Good spreadies, but my god, those 2 Disruptor shots are big. But look, the Fungal stopping him from retreating. A lot of these valuable units get caught, and both sides lose a lot, but I think... I don't know who came out on top of that. The Vibe, oh my god, he's going to keep... He gets another Disruptor, another Parasitic Bomb goes down. There's so much Viper energy. I don't think hero's used to playing versus 5 Vipers. He killed one of them. There's still 4. They can gather more energy. The Queens can respread some creep here and gather back up. herO, you can tell he's antsy. He wants to finish this game, but I think, honestly, defensively, he's unbreakable. If he takes a 5th base, he's good. But herO has a boner. For those who don't know, herO is known as one of the players with the least restraint in all of Pro StarCraft. The dodge on the Infestors! He dodges the Disruptor shot. Fungal comes in. Oh, does land one good ball there, but is it going to be enough? There's not much firepower behind this. All of his Disruptors have gone down, except one more does come in, but the spreads from Reynor are good, and he kills all the Disruptors. Reynor on 40 to 50 drones for the last few minutes, 30 drones for a few minutes before that. He has been on a shit economy for so long. hero's economy isn't fantastic, but I thought he'd be able to overwhelm with the Stalker Disruptor, but the Spellcasters, the Fungals locking in place, the spreadies from Reynor, not to mention the abducts on those Disruptors pull them to their death, and hero's in trouble. He's gonna have to use his Phoenix as a harassment unit now, trying to damage the economy. And I do think as well, if he was doing more Zealot run bys, more harassment, his Oracle, Phoenix, like all these units, they're better for harassing, right? They're not as good in those big frontal fights. The Disruptor Stalker we thought was a solid army that beats just about anything Zerg has, but it turns out if there's enough Spellcasters, you got to have an answer to it. And still, he's going to take a gold base. His herO, he's trying to rebuild. He's going sentries. So he's going to try and use force fields to keep the army back. Problem is, there is still plenty of Disruptor energy, and I really think he needs to change up his style. But hero's trying to make it work with Stalker Disruptor. He's got the gold base going. Reynor is still here in Poop Town economy, but his natural's rebuilt. His 3rd base is mining healthily. He's got an income that is kind of comparable to the Protoss players. He's got a bit more gas, and he's actually got Lurkers now, which is going to make it very hard to break. Reynor, after weathering the storm that is hero's non-stop aggression, I think he realized, like, I have to just turtle up against a Protoss player who's making such a mobile, aggressive style. I've just got to make really solid defense. I can't really do much else. The Viper's coming forward at the Stalker's not something you see every day. He's like, oi, get over here. Anything's a value kill at this point. And, oh my god, herO actually loses quite a few Stalkers. Good value for Reynor. Reynor is getting so much value in this game. Look at this. He's almost 5,000 resources ahead in the unit's loss tab. That is massive. herO has lost so much more stuff than him. herO is building Immortals now. He's saying, well, if everything keeps getting abducted, maybe Disruptors aren't the go. But the Stalker's just not the best unit in this scenario, it seems. Templar Archives does go down. I feel like Storm would have been so game-changing. And this is the sort of army that Reynor had, where you never normally want to go 12 High Templar, but you actually want to go 12 High Templar. Simply to feed back every Queen, every Viper, every Infestor, and still have Storm energy left over. It's so silly, but the counter to Reynor's army was either get out carriers, something, you know, big flying unit that of course Reynor wouldn't have the money to deal with, or to get your own feedback and storms to deal with his spellcasters and get in that spellcaster duel. herO tried to use the big balls and the mobile disruptors. Got to watch out for the fungal though. Good blink backs. Oh, he gets a lurker. Gets another lurker. 2 stalkers for 2 lurkers. I'd take that trade any day. hero's still got these 3 Phoenix being dickheads. They're on max energy. He can keep going in and just picking stuff off, man. Picking off drones, trying to get value. Uh-oh. Big army coming, though. Reynor wants to finish this off. There's some zealots here, some immortals, some stalkers. The lurkers, though, there's no real answer to those lurkers. Storm has still not been made, so he's trying to just make immortal charge arc on his hero, and the abducts are going to come in. An immortal gets caught, as does a disruptor, as does another immortal. A second yank on the balls. Reynor, of course, always one to know when it's the right time to grab his opponent by the nuts and squeeze. The stalkers will dive in for herO. A brutal counterattack for him, but nowhere near as brutal as what Reynor is doing to him on his side of the map. The Zerglings are trying to go home to defend the counterattacks. If Reynor can defend this, it'd be good, but he's losing a hatchery. He's losing his gold base. He is killing a base of herO, though. No probes surviving on that one. If the Lings can get on top of this, this would be big. A fungal on the Stalkers would also be massive. Zealots on the left side starting to do some big damage. Zerglings chasing the Stalkers. Quick recall for herO. He's going to try and defend the gold base, but that's a lot of lurkers. There is no way. Reynor is just all over him right now. The Viper's always being babysat and pulled back. Shield battery overcharge goes down. That is not going to last for long. Blinding cloud ruining herO. Stalker's getting abducted once again. There's still zealots in Reynor's economy. hero's gone back to his harassment game from the start of this one. And we are once again seeing why Reynor and herO are my favorite PvZ players to watch. I might not love PvZ in general as much as I love Zerg vs Terran in general, but when it's Reynor versus herO, this might just be one of the funnest matchups of the best top players in the world. When you're talking about top players versus top players, this is it. What are we even watching? A red Void Ray arrives here. herO does have to tap out, though. He's been overrun. The efficiency out of Reynor's spellcasters there. How often do you see a 40 drone Zerg champion beating his opponent with lurkers, mass Viper Infester, basically, a handful of Roach Ravager Queen, and just great spellcaster usage. Beautiful splits. Reynor is an absolute beast. And I wanted to share this with you guys on the main channel. If you guys want to catch the rest of it, go check out Pigcast. There's a link below, as we did cast the entire series for that channel there. This was just game 1 of a best of 5. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later. Goodbye and good night.